Hello everyone, we are now officially live. This is the first live stream I have done since 2020, and the live stream is the Igor MGTOW versus Portuguese MACPOW debate.
Sup,
We're now officially live.
All right, so what's the issue with me?
The issue is that since October there has been beef between the two of us. We didn't like each other's ideas, and there was a lot of mudslinging. Though I did try to stick mostly to the truth by backing up all of my claims with evidence.
Nigga, what truth? Are you one of these like CNN fact checkers or whatever? Like, are you like, do you decide what the truth is? Fuck off.
I don't decide. It's just that if you make a claim, for example, like I support transvaxing, then I refute that proof with like messages proving that I don't support it. Because that has been one of your claims on October.
All right. What's the other issue?
The issue is you've decided to essentially launch an entire crusade against me because of what I did. Recently in 2024, Italy has passed a law completely banning surrogacy. Now, for the New World project, we kind of need surrogacy, at least before the artificial womb, simply because we don't want to rely on relationships to have kids. We don't want to rely on women to create proper family structures. We don't want to essentially be replaced by simps, because under the current model, if you ban surrogacy, the only people who will be allowed to have kids will be simps, and these are not the people I want to inherit the earth.
Look, I don't disagree with anything that you're saying, but the whole idea is just fucking gay as shit. This is faggot shit.
Yes, but the problem is, I've noticed a trend. Countries with stronger LGBTQIA lobbies are less likely to ban surrogacy, and the surrogacy is the precursor to the artificial womb, which means that there's an obvious incentive to at least keep part of the LGBTQIA plus lobby or the community alive, at least for that purpose. The incentive structure is that we need the LGBTQIA plus lobby to do all the fighting for surrogacy for us, because they have an obvious interest in keeping their own stuff, keeping their own gay marriage, keeping their own stuff. And the problem is, before late 2023, there was an actual proper alliance between MGTOW and much of MAGA or conservatism, but the problem is, they effectively went against us in late 2023. They started calling for bans on surrogacy. They started calling for bans on IVF. They started calling for basically the return of the social order that we don't want, essentially screwing over every single plan for that I had as MGTOW, and I didn't like the fact that conservative evangelicals did that, because I thought we had an alliance, and effectively, because of what they did, they have essentially decided to screw over our own interests.
Yeah, but look, you're inviting gayness into MGTOW. This is for normal men. This is not for like fucking.
But I'm not inviting anything. I clearly stated what MGTOW was, and all I did was advocated to not side with people who obviously don't like us and who will betray us. You're still expected to be MGTOW. You're still expected to at least adhere to basic MGTOW values. If you come to MGTOW with pride flags and refuse to integrate or do anything, then obviously you do not belong here. You're expected to integrate. But then again, the plan wasn't even to invite LGBTQA plus people to MGTOW, because that's not the point. The point was simply to secure interests related to surrogacy and IVF so that we can at least have time to make the artificial womb and thus make the new world, the new social order. Because I do not see MGTOW as a temporary man on strike thing. I see it as at the very least the precursor to the new social order that I want to build.
Look, Igor, MGTOW is over. Not only if you look at the Google Trends, it's going down in popularity and clicks. But look, it's not even that. It's also if you look at these videos of these women saying, "Oh, men don't approach me anymore. Where are all the good men gone?" and stuff like this is only going to push men towards approaching women more because they think, "Oh, maybe now I'm needed. Maybe the paradigm has shifted a little bit." Like the whole idea of MGTOW is good, but the community is going to fall off really quick, and it takes a lot of effort for it to just maintain. You know what I mean? It's quick. It's easy for guys to fall off. Look at how many guys we lost.
I mean, you're kind of true. I did. We noticed Yu-Gi-Oh apps. We noticed all the pickup artists and all of the claims that, oh, there is a reason why it said people are one blowjob away from the plantation. There's a reason this phrase exists. Like, I'm not denying that. In fact, I am who I am because I refuse to fall into the black pill, because I refuse to fall into Yu-Gi-Oh obscure bullshit, because I believe I should rise above it.
Yeah, but look, black pill is growing and expanding, and the MGTOW is not really like the whole mainstreamification and normification. I only see it's like becoming more watered down, and that's not. Is that really what we want? Is like make it all like a kind of what heavy metal is becoming now, all inclusive and shit? No, because then the faggots are gonna take over. God damn it.
Well, ideally, we would want to keep MGTOW. That's the point of MGTOW first, to keep the freedom of all MGTOWs, to keep the political freedom of all MGTOWs to identify in whatever political direction they want to, as long as they at least put MGTOW interests first. We would want to keep MGTOW values first. We don't want MGTOW to be a playground for everyone to do their things. We obviously want the people who claim to be MGTOW to at the very least try to be MGTOW or to follow MGTOW values. You can't simply mainstream everything and water down. There has to be some standards.
All right, but then my question is, like, what are you offering to MGTOW? Like, what are you doing for this community?
Okay, let's begin. I've been planning the idea of MGTOW settlements. I've been advocating for MGTOW on Twitter and everything else. I've been trying to improve our image in the world. I've been trying to make MGTOW be seen as the better option. I've also been cooperating with other groups to ensure that our goals are reached, and we're also letting 4B movement do its thing because it benefits us. And one of my MGTOW friends from Serbia actually said that we should encourage the 4B movement because that gives us more members. I've also been setting the stage and been planning to do the first official census within MGTOW in 2025. When was the last concrete number we got on who is MGTOW? Oh wait, the 1 million figure from r/MGTOW. That's why I wanted to do the official census, so that we can get more updated figures.
All right, look, but we have lost, like, going back to what you said just now, like, you want to advocate for this, you want to advocate for that, but how are you going to push these projects forward yourself? You don't have any funds. You don't even have a job.
Well, to be honest, you're kind of right, because I'm technically volunteering, but yeah, I do need to improve on that. And as for volunteering, it basically means almost a de facto job, just without the pay, because I'm not officially an employee. But yeah, in real terms, I do need to improve on that. I do need to make some kind of centralized place where all of us MGTOWs can pool funds so that all these projects and visions can be achieved.
It's gonna take you years before you even get like a proper like cash flow. Like you're just starting your life. You turned 18 like 6 months ago or some fucking shit.
I turned on May 29th, and one of the claims you made about me is that oh, my parents don't trust me with a driver's license, but right now they've said that of the 2 cars they have, one of these is going to be mine, which lifts the entire burden of having to buy a car myself, which means that all I would have to do is actually learn how to drive, which makes things much better for everyone.
What are you gonna do to that shitty ass scooter that you used to go around town?
I still go there to do my job as kind of a volunteer, and the people I'm volunteering for actually like my work, consider me important. They even think of me as like second in command of their chefing because this is a sandwich making place. They kind of need me to do all of the dishes because without me, they basically don't have a guy permanently on the backstage to take care of all of these things. So they say I'm important to them.
All right. Well, are they also Jewish?
No, they're Serbian like everyone else, like even I am.
Yeah, well, George Soros, he was also Hungarian, and Hungary is a Christian country.
Yeah, but their claims that Soros was Jewish. But point withstanding, if I remember correctly, he was banned from Hungary. I'm not sure why, but yeah, that there's that.
Okay, have you had the bar mitzvah? I'm not into like Jewish culture, but do you wear the tiny hat or the sideburn? Can you grow the sideburns already at your age?
I'm not Jewish at all. I'm Serbian. I'm born in Serbia. I'm not even circumcised. I don't believe in that. My parents are what? I don't know, Christians or atheist. I don't have any known Jewish ancestors at all. I haven't dug up the family tree, but my grandparents were not Jewish. My parents were not Jewish. Nobody else is Jewish, as far as I know.
All right. Are the people that you're volunteering for also gay?
I don't know their orientation, but I believe that most people are heterosexual. But even if they weren't, I wouldn't really care so long as they actually do the job and actually do what's necessary, which means keeping the sandwich making place running correctly.
Okay. Well, 5 years ago, you admitted on tape that your
Uh,
classmates were attacking you for being gay. Like, why are you gay?
that's a miscon. Okay, I'm going to ask you a question. Portuguese MACPOW. When you were MGTOW, you probably still claim to be MGTOW, I'm not sure. Did the
No.
people did the people try to use to say you're gay as a shaming tactic? Did they? Because that's a common MGTOW experience where people call you gay or whatever, and that's what I was trying to insinuate. I just didn't phrase it correctly because why would I be into men? I am not into anyone. I don't really care. I consider getting laid itself as a heretical.
Well, I don't know because you're in a community where you're surrounded by men all the time. Maybe you just it flipped something in you being so young and stuff.
But I'm not really interested in anyone. As I said, I consider getting laid to be heretical, and as I've said multiple times, I would rather go to Ukraine than get laid. At least in Ukraine, you get to visit an interesting country and maybe actually fight the Russians. Well, getting laid does not do anything positive or good. Like, how does getting laid help you advance MGTOW values?
Well, it lowers a lot of stress for a lot of guys. You need to get that nut off to get the post nut clarity and then, get productive.
Fortunately, that's not really a problem for me.
Look, man, dude, I don't, it doesn't, maybe it is, but I just, again, you're a virgin, you have no life experience. How can you just like one thing is if you had options and you tried them and you decided, it's not that what it's all cracked up to be and stuff, but it's just, it's
You're
like
asking me,
I smell a rats. It feels fishy to me.
you're asking me how I can claim to be MGTOW. Well, the thing is, the people who already had these experiences made the video so that others would learn why marriage is bad, and I actually learned all of that. I remember all of the MGTOW saying how they wished they knew everything at a younger age, and I'm basically like that. I basically managed to keep everything, keep all my items, keep everything I had, and the social life and the kind of life I want to, without having to sacrifice blood or treasure or whatever. And I'm still thankful for making that great decision. And the point of MGTOW is that the one thing that it appealed to me, other than the security of not being Me Too, was the messaging that you do not have to be in a marriage or a relationship to be happy. You do not have to engage in all of these stupid blue pill social norms to be happy and to be successful. And that's what appealed to me about MGTOW the most. Because MGTOW is the new social order, the new way of doing things, the new, better way of doing things that does not have the mistakes, the pitfalls of marriage. And to be honest, I don't think marriage should even exist, but that's beside the point.
All right. So what I'm getting from this conversation is that you're fully invested into the community, which I think it's very commendable. You're not gay. You're not Jewish. I'm glad you finally cleared that up. I don't know why it took you so long, but yeah.
I mean, the thing is, I actually had a discussion with Hammerhand about exactly this thing, but then you made a comment about how you did all of this conflict for clout or for MACPOW, so then I just ignored you, because my usual approach to MACPOW stuff is to just not talk about it, because even negative attention would give it more members. So that's why I simply try to ignore all of this.
Nigga, you can't ignore MGTOW. It's growing, and even guys don't even know that it has a name. Men are just following that because all this fuckery, it awakens something primal in men that you just can't ignore. It's in them. There's only so much fuckery that a man can take before he just unleashes, you know?
I see. And the reason why I didn't bother to clear it up then and there was because I just saw you as a bad faith actor who invented several claims, including the claim that I suck my own thumb, which is incredibly weird and stupid. So I saw no reason to even have a stream with you, because how could I know that you're not just going to make another false claim that I would have to immediately defend against? Like, why would I trust you?
That's okay, so you stopped sucking on your own thumb already.
I never did it in the first place. Like, why would I? That's weird.
Look, I know it's embarrassing, but look, we're all friends here. It's fine. You don't do it anymore. Who cares?
I didn't do it at all. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't help advance MGTOW values. How does sucking your own thumb help MGTOW grow? That's all I care about. MGTOW growing.
Hey, listen to me. You don't need to base your entire character onto MGTOW values. Like you can do some weird shit. You know, like I said today.
I'm not interested in sucking my own thumb because it's weird. Nobody has ever brought it up. Nobody in MGTOW ever talked about it before you made that claim.
No, because you told me you did it before.
I don't remember. It's not in the transcript. The reason I didn't have much problem with you leaking my height or trying to expose it was because it was already public in the entire transcript, which was revealed the moment you tried to make claims that I was supporting transmaxing or something.
Okay, but you didn't leak the transcript of our conversations in my other account where you told me that you were thumb sucking.
I don't remember doing that, because why would I? It's weird. It's stupid.
Look, it makes sense to me. Like, you have no friends in real life, and
I actually do. One at school, and the school was even complaining that I wasn't trying to socialize more, but I already have like one friend. He's half German, half Russian, knows German, is from Germany, but goes to school here, and agrees with me everything from tech to politics, mostly, though he's more of a conservative.
All right, good. Well, at least you're not associating with niggers. That's already a positive.
Yeah, but I have friends in real life. I can socialize in real life, but I mostly focus on socializing online, because online is where I can actually do more stuff. Because, like, what's the point of socializing in real life if the average person you have share no common values with?
Yeah, that's a very good point, actually.
Like, why would you socialize with someone if that someone does not share anything in common with you?
Look, a lot of friendships are actually based on the people just enjoying each other's company. I mean, I'm in a point in my life. I don't really care if the people that I meet in my travels are Democrats or Republicans. I only really care how they like treat me, because you can be of the same philosophy and stuff and still like treat each other badly and stuff. So kind of like you and me right now. I mean, we're both in a manosphere and we don't really like each other all that much.
Well, we don't, but you tried recently to insist that I'm not in the manosphere due to certain factors that were never in the MGTOW manifesto to begin with. But even then, I try to I try to defend the manosphere, even those I don't really like, because to me the manosphere is like this important thing. I remember sharing a map with you on Twitter. The manosphere is this large, it's the modern day equivalent of the Roman Empire. It's influential, it's important, everything in the world revolves around it. It's partly the reason why the elections in America went the way they are, because certain men in the manosphere helped push Trump forward. I mean,
Yeah,
I
but those
expect.
guys, but those
I mean,
guys are not MGTOW. Like MGTOW is not getting all the views.
yeah, that's my concern, and that's why I don't really like Andrew Tate, because Andrew Tate is going to spin the manosphere into his own cult of personality, and basically will do a lot of that damage that I will have to clean up and repair. And I would really appreciate Andrew Tate if he could just retire and let other voices shine through.
All right, look, you made a post saying that you're like Andrew Tate. Like, if you were to like destroy your reputation, you'll be bad. Like, what do you mean? Like, what would you do?
Well, the thing is, I've always wanted to have an army, and if I could, I would probably recruit my own army, go to Romania where he is, and just have Andrew Tate retire. I would obviously prefer everything to be peaceful and legal, which is why I would probably ask for the permissions of the Romanian and Serbian governments respectively. But I would, of course, like to go with my army and make Andrew Tate retire
Okay,
peacefully.
so
Possible.
essentially there'll be like a threat of force.
Well, Andrew Tate would see the army of like 30,000 troops and would make the right decision without causing any blood, and everything would be legal.
30,000, motherfucker! You barely have 1,000 subs. The fuck you talking about, man?
I mean, that would be the ideal. That is what I would do if I had all the resources. But the thing is, it's not just the reputation. And on the reputation thing, I see the reputation of the entire manosphere as a whole as effectively my own reputation, because I'm not just Igor. I'm just a part of the manosphere. The manosphere is Igor, and Igor is the manosphere. So that's how I view things.
Bro, your channel has been faded into obscurity for years now. You're barely getting as like I have way less subs than you, and we're getting comparable amounts of views. Like the fuck you talking about?
Well, I was just explaining how I viewed the manosphere, but on that thing, I managed to take a declining channel and managed to make it at least grow again, even if slowly. When was the channel? At what point was the channel when I started returning to YouTube? What, 972 subscribers? Now we're at 163, already surpassing my highest point in 2020, and it's still projected to grow. Like I can
Oh,
reach, I can reach
bravo.
1,100.
Bruh, that's meaningless. Like you're just not getting the views, you're not getting the reach, and even what you're saying, it's just like it's mediocre at best. Like, what have you been saying that is original that other guys haven't been said before and better?
Well, the thing is, other channels get to stuff and news quicker than I do, but I've tried to make my own unique point on the 4B movement. I've tried to at least create a new social model. Although, of course, even other MGTOWs have adopted some version of it, with Sandman famously promoting surrogacy and artificial wombs.
Okay, look, that's my problem with you is that you take what one popular member in the sphere says and you take that and you just repeat it. Like there's nothing original about you, like nothing.
Because I still haven't gotten around to promoting the settlements idea on YouTube, and that's the unique thing. I've kept most of my
Nah,
ideas.
nah, 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 nah. That's weak shit. That's pussy shit. Let me tell you how it's done. You said just now that you would make Andrew Tate surrender by a threat of force. That's what I'm doing with MacPow. That's the only thing that matters out here. It's force and strength. I believe in strength.
I also believe in strength. The thing is, you thought me being against McPow was me being weak, but I I also believe in having a sharpened sword, but I also believe in using that sharpened sword when it's smart to use it, when we can legally use it, when we have the argument for self-defense, when they can absolutely do nothing against us. The
Dude,
point.
listen to what you're saying. Like when we can legally use it, for you to wait for the law to be on your side, you're gonna be waiting like forever. Like motherfucker, you just gotta take it. You just gotta take that shit.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of understand your point, but also the reason why I also look at everything and the reason for my attitude towards MACPOW is also because optics. Optics matter. Like, they've already tried to conflate MGTOW with incels, and if something bad were to happen, MACPOW itself probably wouldn't receive that much damage, but MGTOW itself would be affected downstream because the lamestream media would use all of the stops, every single fucking news report or everything to conflate the two and confuse the two and make them appear the same to the average normie or the average person. Which means that the entire manosphere would effectively be in a worse position, and I didn't want that. Okay, let's see what's the... I was trying to read some of the comments because I have been receiving comments. Am I free to read that? Igor, now that you know all the women traps, you must grow your business and become successful. From Civism Secret. I actually agree with that. We should
Dude,
have
of course you agree with that shit. That's like the most tame shit. That's the most like regurgitated talking points in the entirety of MGTOW. It's like women will bring you down, but if you walk away, your business is gonna succeed. That's dude. Even guys who don't know what MGTOW is can tell that shit. It's for normies now.
I mean, yes, but kind of the reason why MGTOW should still try to appeal to that is because there are still people who want to be in the manosphere who are still getting it wrong, who are still making basic fundamental mistakes. I see it with the people following Andrew Tate. They're making some basic mistakes that a quick look at MGTOW would have prevented. And that's part of the reason why Sandman still makes content appealing to these kinds of people, because if we want new MGTOWs, if we want people to succeed, we need to make sure they aren't making completely inept and stupid mistakes. Because unfortunately, there are still people being married in the year of our Lord 2024. Like, why? It's 2024.
Well, that should show you that if men are still getting married, that's something in their DNA that you just can't eliminate with, regardless of how many years of MGTOW information and knowledge that you push forward. Look at what happened. Look at how many members that had a big channel that we lost. We lost Zangati. We lost fucking Mr. Hate Fishes. He's just like my friend. He just got tired of being criticized because he fucks bitches on camera, because some guys disapprove and disavowed. Like it's like a lot of the guys out here are virgins and can't even get any bitches. I'm not saying that it's good or anything. I'm not saying that you should do it, but at least you got to have that option and choose to walk away from it. There's a lot of fake towels out here. Fuck that.
Yeah, so here's the thing. When Hammerhand made that post about MACPOW, certain people were talking about Zangati, and here's the thing. Hammerhand said that Zangati did everything right when he left MGTOW. He didn't make a useless anti-MGTOW video, as far as I know, and he followed a proper protocol. But you're right. We have been losing people, and we don't want to lose people, and we shouldn't lose people. That's the problem. We can't maintain a 1 BJ away from the plantation thing sustainably forever. We need to switch something up and make MGTOW better.
Look, Igor, I can almost guarantee you, the first time you're gonna get your dick sucked, like that's all of this is going to go away. Everything that you're pushing out here is going to go away. It's just going to awaken something in you. It's sad, but it's true.
Well, the solution then would be simply to not do it, because I don't like it and I don't see a benefit.
How can you say you don't like cocaine if you never tried it? Like, you can hear people say, don't do it because you're going to go back to the plantation. Don't do it. It's negative for you. And then you try it one time and you get hooked. And all your channel, everything that you worked for, which I think it's pretty insignificant. So I'll tell you the truth. It's all going to go away. All of it.
Well, the idea is to simply follow the best practices and not do it. Because here's the thing: looking at it right now, what's in it for me? Like, why would I do it with cocaine? Okay, there are reports that you can get high, but what's in it for
It
me?
was a metaphor. Let's move on.
Sorry, I was trying to explain, but okay, I understand it's a metaphor. But feel free to move on.
Well, you said that you're only 5'7", which puts you on the below average in height. So, if you ever want to become like a strong general and you want to be respected, unless you want to be like Napoleon and actually be kind of like a joke, and then you have to become a tyrant to make a point. I don't see how you're gonna lead an army of men because it's just but again, going back to my point, maybe you're not going to get your dick sucked because you're only 5'7", and bitches, they like taller guys.
Yeah, but that's kind of true. But the thing is, I never liked the Tinder standard, anyways. I never liked the idea of getting laid. It just
Igor,
didn't.
Igor, Igor, listen to me, man. It doesn't matter how you look at yourself. It matters how the world looks at you. This is how the world is shaped around you. It's how others see you. This is how men get the best jobs. I know it sucks to hear, but shorter men get the short end of the stick. And for guys like you, it's just gonna happen. I don't care that you're from a rich family and you can work the family business. Like out here, just you're gonna have to fight harder to survive.
Hmm. Well, I was never against fighting, so I'll probably
This
just
is
do that.
why I say you belong in the black pill with all the other doomers.
But I don't belong in the black pill. I still believe in accomplishing my own vision, no matter what everyone else says. The vision must be accomplished. I need to see it in my own lifetime. I need to see all the MGTOW settlements spring up. I need to see marriage completely obliterated in my lifetime. I need to see romance finally die. That's the one thing I wanted the most. To see all of the
Well, good
blue
luck. Good luck with
die.
that.
And I don't believe in the black pill because the black pill is like, oh, marriage will happen anyways, black romance will happen anyway, so we just need to accept it. No, if we can still fight against it, then we must fight against it. We have a mandate to help as many men as possible understand that there is a viable alternative, and so long as we have that mandate, we must uphold it. We
You know,
never give up.
you know what? You remind me of myself when I was your age. I was 18 years old, full of life, fire in my eyes, young, dumb, full of cum, shots. But then life happened, and I realized that I can't change shit because number one, I don't have manpower, I don't have firepower. I'm only one man. I'm only I'm not very strong physically, and I need weapons. And then you can carry a weapon, and it's like motherfucker, you can't make an impact like you want to. Like every man has gone through the same process, and they just, you get defeated by life. Some niggas get into drugs, others just rope, and others just go down the endless path of cope of like watching endless movies and listening to all the albums and stuff, and then you just perish and you do nothing. And unfortunately, this is what's going to happen for you.
Yeah, but I should at least attempt to resist the tide because what is the point of my life if I don't at least do something? Like, I have to do something because I believe in my mission so much. I believe that the MGTOW world that I seek is so important that everything else must step aside for it. I believe that I at least must do something because doing nothing would be morally wrong in my view.
Look, it doesn't matter how hard you work towards this project, this utopia that you see, in your mind, in your head. All it takes is the laws changing a little bit in favor of men, that all of these MGTOWs in mass will go back to the plantation. Oh, now I'm not going to be divorce raped. Oh, now I'm not going to lose the custody of the kids so easily. Man, let me try that, and then MGTOW goes away, and then your fight against patriarchy and traditionalism, you're going to be defeated because human nature is going to win. It talks too loud.
Oh yes, and on the patriarchy, don't think that just because I'm not for it that I'm some LARPing feminist or whatever. It's just that I believe that I had an even better vision called the
But
nation
you
state.
sound like it. You had pronouns. You in a way you are a
Yes,
feminist. You had pronouns.
but the thing is, I had them because I didn't want to be they-themmed by stupid foreigners who who believe, here's what happens in other communities where the manosphere doesn't exist at all. If you don't tell the foreigners your pronouns, they will always use they, them, because it's the most neutral pronoun they can think of. They're scared to just assume your pronoun, so they will use a specific type of pronoun for people who they don't know about. But since I wanted to still have the same pronouns I use everywhere, including in MGTOW, I was okay with that. But you can see that on Twitter, on my Guilded server, I don't have the pronouns. Why? Because it's obvious what the pronouns are. Everyone in those spaces uses the exact same pronouns, he, him. Because if you don't use he, him, you're not in the MGTOW space and get kicked out.
No, that's gay. You're playing their game. I don't care if you put he, him, or, describing yourself as a man.
To be they, them. Simple as that. I don't believe in foreign pronouns.
Yeah, but look, you're playing their game. Like the only way to win against wokeness is to use satire and ridicule. You can say that your pronouns are boo-hoo or some shit like that, but not make fun of them. This is how they lose.
I mean, you have a point.
Of course I do.
There's a specific type of wokeness I really want to see lose, and it's called intersectional feminism. And any kind of intersectional thing, any faction within the LGBTQA plus community that is pro-feminist, they must lose, and they must lose hard. I don't want any factions in any other communities that could pose a threat to MGTOW or that are against MGTOW. And if wokeness plays a part against MGTOW, then we should obviously fight it. Regarding the LGBTQA plus community, I still have a sharpened sword. I just don't use it, and until I find the circumstances where MGTOW itself is threatened and when peace is impossible, I would prefer not to use it. But if I must use it, I will use it, and I will use it to cut down the enemy, because that's the point.
Igor, you're incapable of any of this. You've never been in a confrontational situation in your life.
Yes, but I want to explain. Even in 2024, if there's a conflict between the interests of trans people and the interests of MGTOW people, the MGTOW men, MGTOW's always...
MGTOW people?
Sorry, I was thinking as a nation state, like Portuguese people, French people, whatever. I was thinking in the nation state model as not just a man as a gender, but also as a nation, as a culture, as a group. So that's why I was trying to say that. But obviously everyone is still male, and I now prefer to say MGTOW men. But the thing is, MGTOW men will always go first, and that's normal. They should go first because our interests are a bigger priority than their interests. And if our interests clash with their interests, then our interests must win. There's no other compromise, no other exception. We win, and that's the one thing that's going to happen, nothing else.
Okay, but however, well, I don't know if you know this, but you have to go against very dark and evil forces that are at work here, and they have the law and the governments and manpower and firepower on their side. There's just no amount of will that you can have, and a very pedantic and meticulous crafted plan. You're still going to lose, and not only are going to shut you down, you're gonna get disappeared. Are you willing to risk that?
What is the risk for? So the risk for defending basic MGTOW interests and defending everything that we believe in is being disappeared. Am I getting this correctly?
Look, I'll give you an example. Look at what happened to Andrew Tate, because you mentioned Andrew Tate in your post and in this call. Look at what happened to him, and that nigga is super rich. He can buy the lawyers, he can do, and ultimately he lost because of a woman pointing the finger, and he lost because he was under the threat of force. He didn't have much other than his mouth. His arrogance got the best of him. Yeah, and you're kind of doing the same. You're kind of doing the same because you believe that's all it's going to work out according to what you think it's going to work out. And you just don't have life experience enough to be thinking about this even.
Yes, but another problem with Andrew Tate was that he was effectively self-snitching about half of the stuff he was doing. So it's not that much work for the Romanian legal system to basically find some evidence to get rid of him, because essentially he was doing half of the work for them.
Yeah, this is true. That nigger is like some retarded fuck ass. Like, I'm not even gonna lie.
That's why I don't even call him innocent anymore that much, because half of the stuff he's charged with, he has admitted to doing, or has at least implied that he's doing. Like,
Well,
Andrew Tate is at best morally gray. Some charges are obviously manufactured, but part of it is genuine, and that's because he himself revealed that he did part of it. He openly called Romania corrupt. He openly tried to avoid paying taxes to the UK or anyone else. And what happens when you don't pay taxes? The government is going to go the extra mile to get those taxes, or if they can't, simply get rid of you.
well, yeah, this is why I don't work. If you don't work, they can't tax you legally. Well, you can legally not pay taxes if you don't have any income, But I don't expect motherfuckers to understand this because you see, this is my biggest problem with MGTOW. No one is talking about quitting the workforce in mass because I've done it. I know it's not for every motherfucker, but it's the ultimate step in MGTOW. It's just detaching from the workforce because if you leave the burden of performance onto women, it all falls down like that bridge in Florida or whatever the fuck.
This would be interesting. This would be very interesting, but the problem is there's basically no incentive for MGTOWs to actually quit the workplace. Why? Because they need the money to feed themselves, to sustain themselves, to pay rent if they rent, pay the mortgage if they actually own the home and are paying to the bank, or pay taxes. They need to pay all of these things, and they basically have zero incentive to not work. Like, the reason it's not talked about is because nobody wants to do it. The men in MGTOW need to keep working because they have obligations they need to pay, and some of them, to be quite clear, actually like the work they are doing.
Well, yeah, but you can have the most amazing job and you're still gonna have to be taxed. It's like what's even the point of working? It's
The thing is,
I'd rather be robbing motherfuckers.
The thing is, you're also being taxed not just at work. You have inheritance tax, sales tax. When you buy something, that transaction gets taxed. When you sell something, that transaction also gets taxed. I don't think you can quite escape taxes. Maybe minimize it, but not escape it, since taxes are everywhere, even in inheritance. Like, if someone dies and leaves some inheritance, the government simply takes part of that inheritance in a tax. Sure, it's not the best thing. I don't like the idea, but that's what happens in some countries.
Again, it all goes back to the threat of force. Violence, having the monopoly on violence. This is why, if you really want to make a change, you have to implement it. And this is how I came up with MACPOW, because it's the only thing that's going to work, and it's more in line with men's nature to do something like that. Of course, in the modern world that we live in, you're going to get in trouble, but it's a lot more in sync with our nature to go MACPOW than MGTOW. Even TFM talked about this.
Well, I would see why, because going to war and winning is much better than whatever the situation is now. But the reason why I basically tried to halt it is because I also have to take care about the optics. Should MACPOW lose, everything will be a complete disaster for us, and I'll have yet another thing I'll need to take care of and clean up, and then you have all the other splinter factions. Like, there's something SCE said to me, it's that there are a lot more groups orbiting MGTOW and the Manosphere than you think, and what did he say? I'm seeing the Manosphere is fracturing into subgroups, and that makes the entire Manosphere susceptible. And I would be inclined to think that SCE Successful Endeavors is right in this instance.
Look, let me address exactly what you just said, quoting Cesspool, and for all the niggas in chats, just think about this. Who is the biggest Fed? The one trying to push new ideas to liberate men, or the members that are constantly policing each other to make sure that no ideas get too effective out there, essentially policing each other's speech? Who is the bigger Fed?
Hmm. That's an interesting question. Most MGTOWs would say that MACPOW is fed activity simply due to promoting offensive kind of violence, but obviously there is also policing, and that's why I've been very careful as to how I promote and position my ideas, because there are factions in the manosphere, including MGTOW itself. I know that you're not MGTOW, you have your own thing, but there are factions even within MGTOW that have their own ideas that would conflict with mine, which is why I'm very careful to promote my ideas in a certain way that makes sure that none of those factions would try to do something to me. And obviously, it's not just MGTOW. The manosphere is a large group. Outside of the honorable and good MGTOWs, you have what? The parasitic and annoying incels, the people who practice usury, also known as pickup artists and dating coaches, and some other groups I may not be aware about. And yes, I'm right in
Right.
calling and yes, I'm right in calling incels parasitic because they basically get handed the position of being single on a silver platter, and instead of accepting it and enjoying life as a single person, they keep complaining, and that complaining is tone deaf to me because I expect people to like to be single because being single is, in my view, an objectively good thing. Which is why I'm really annoyed when incels complain about rejection. Okay, the incels are right, but why can't they use the fact that they're single to actually improve their life or actually do something other than keep complaining about hypergamy? Yes, hypergamy could be real, but it's not a problem for us, MGTOWs, for a reason. And the reason it's not a problem for us is that we prefer to be single. The incels are being gifted the opportunity of being single and are rejecting this gift. That's my problem with them.
Look, all of this is a giant cope. Guys calling themselves incel and saying that it's over, so they don't do anything. Guys going MGTOW and just wanting to be alone when in fact they want a better life for themselves. Like really, ultimately, it all comes down to strength and power and making a change. Everything else is cope. It's either you take action or you perish. And not only that, what I really want to say was, sorry, I have stuff. Anyway, what I really want to say is, I am done with MGTOW. Even before I started MGPOW, like I had a channel for like what, like 6 months in 2019, and I just got tired of it because motherfuckers that call themselves MGTOW just came to my channel and tried to police everything that I said, and not only that, but also guys in on Reddit, like we were just hitting 100K, and then it all got like post that I made there got banned. Other guys complain about the same. Like you have
It's
these
Reddit.
infiltrators.
It's Reddit. What do you expect from it? Reddit is known for having these power hungry admins that control every subreddit and get banned. And here's the thing: even if r/MGTOW had good moderators, the Reddit admins could have just replaced the entire moderating team with a new slate of moderators. The moderators of r/MGTOW don't have as much power as you or anyone else would think because the Reddit admins could just replace entire moderating teams with other teams.
No, but you're missing my points. It's not just Reddit. It's not only just YouTube or Twitter. Or it's just the mentality of MGTOW, like in general, like the paranoia that we are all being watched, and maybe we are, but who gives a fuck? The only thing they can do is read what we are saying and try to do something about it, but they can actually stop the messages and the knowledge to be spread. Like if it comes to a point where men just take action, they can't stop all of us. They can stop some of us, but then what? It's just going to cause a whole Streisand effect. And not only that, I am done with MGTOW because you guys complain about censorship. You do it to each other. So fuck y'all. Fuck MGTOW. Fuck MGTOW.
Well, the thing is, throughout 20 throughout late 2023 to now, I actually tried to defend the political independence and political freedom of all MGTOWs, particularly because I don't want certain MGTOWs attacking other MGTOWs for their views or calling other MGTOWs fake MGTOWs just because they had certain socio-political opinions. Like, okay, one MGTOW has one opinion on LGBT stuff, another MGTOW has another MGTOW. I didn't want these two MGTOWs in my hypothetical example to call each other fake MGTOWs or whatever. That's why I made the emphasis of political independence and political freedom so important, because the entire point is there should be no policing of political identity unless that said ideology attacks MGTOW itself. People in MGTOW should have had the right to vote either Republican or Democrat or third party or whatever, because the point of being MGTOW is to be free and to be able to do your own thing. This is why I highly valued the political independence, and why I made every effort to ensure that people aren't being called fake MGTOWs just because they may have different economic or social opinions.
I don't know. It's just it sounds weak to me. It's just like it reeks of weakness. The whole thing of it doesn't make sense to me because what is the end goal? Sure, you save money, you avoid the courts and stuff, but motherfuckers still want to get their dick sucks, and then they go. Not only that, they go back to a relationship and they abandon everything.
That's the one problem that we have. It's because most men are set up in such a way that even with MGTOW, they still like women on some level or sexual or romantic level. Fortunately, I don't, but that's not a guarantee for anyone else. They like women on that level, are attracted to them, and then this effect is caused. Obviously, the ideal is the end point of MGTOW is that you should be able to have a good life and to have everything a success and be able to do whatever you want to do. That's why there was no centralized end goal, because the end goal is whatever you defined it to be. You were supposed to create the end goal yourself after not being married and to basically craft your own single life. But the problem is, this effect of returning to relationships is bad. And it's why I've basically been focused on doing everything I possibly could to ensure that MGTOW itself survives. I knew, I had a suspicion, that's why I always ask, are you a MGTOW, first MGTOW, or like a men on strike person? Because I know and I have suspicions that some portion of MGTOW are just men on strike and are just waiting for the right conditions to remarry or be in a relationship. And I didn't want that. I wanted MGTOW to stay MGTOW permanently. I even
Look,
asked you if you were just a man on strike because I was kind of worried. I didn't want that, and I wanted to ensure if people are MGTOW, if they say they're MGTOW, that they're MGTOW, because I don't want another man on strike temporary movement, because that's the thing we shouldn't want.
look, none of this matters. This utopia, like a MGTOW first, then none of this matters if you still have women's rights. It's like TFM says, you have to deal with women's rights first. You have to remove it. You have to repeal the 19 first, and then men can thrive. If you can't have both, because you're gonna have the simps on one side
We
protecting
we
them. You're gonna have them reeing, and if you don't get rid of women's rights first, then there's not gonna be a place for man in this world. And
we
and how do you do that? With MACPOW. MACPOW is taking that, giving it a name, and just giving it a foundation, because force is everything in this world.
hmm, I see. But the thing is, we should first start off with basically returning male-only spaces. And here's the thing I've noticed. You see, all of the women reading about, oh no, there's no women's sports or whatever. Notice that every single one of these women were in some way involved in destroying male-only spaces. So obviously the top priority is a return of male-only spaces, reversing whatever decisions were made in the Supreme Court to remove them. Because you can't have an independent male identity, an independent male social order without male-only spaces. That's why I find it so critical that they are defended. And it's why every single TERF or every single anti-trans feminist sounds so tone deaf. Because, okay, they're complaining about their own spaces, but the exact same thing they're complaining about, they did it to us. And some of them are still proud of that.
Okay, look, Igor. I think to finalize this stream, look, I see very good things in you. I still think you're a little bit goofy and kind of like naive and stuff, but I see you doing a lot of good things for man. However, I think we need to work together, because I see myself doing a lot of damage to women, and I don't. Sure, maybe it involves the V word, violins, in quotes, let's just say that. But you can't have both. You cannot have men thriving and women's rights together. So I think um, pinning MGTOW and MACPOW against each other is actually a net negative when we should be working together. I think you have to get rid of women's rights first. This is just what TFM has been saying for years, and it makes a lot of sense. This is not just me saying. So, what do you say? I'm gonna propose a truth between us. I will take down everything that I ever said negative about you from my channel, including not just what I posted today, but also the stuff in the past. You can keep the stuff about me on your channel. I really don't give a flying bullshit.
Uh,
But
can I explain something? Can I explain
go
something?
ahead.
I've actually, when you made the thing that you're gloating about it, I actually had a deal. Let me pull it up with SCE. I'm not sure because hold on. I think I proposed a deal with SCE because here's the thing. I think I've had some kind of deal proposed, something similar, but he said that you would never agree to that. But such an agreement would have let you basically do whatever as long as you aren't attacking me or anything. I'll try to open it in the browser and set it the tab. Okay, let's see. Is there settings? Is there some way I can share whatever? There has to be. Because I have the framework for such an agreement, but
Dude,
I
fuck all that. Just let's leave third parties out of this. We're speaking right now.
yes,
Both like
but that's what I wanted SE to send you. But here's the thing. Can I read it like this? Peace terms to end the conflict between the MGTOW community and Portuguese MACPOW. The following provisions will apply to Portuguese MACPOW and the MACPOW community. 1. All claims made by Portuguese MACPOW regarding me that are proven to be true are to be abandoned. Not deleted, simply abandoned. You stop doing that anymore. 2. Portuguese MACPOW disbands any claim of me being gay and recognizes my lack of desire for sex and me not experiencing attraction to others. 3. Portuguese MACPOW... Okay, this might be offensive, but this was the deal then, and we can amend it right now if you want to. I'm just reading what I was proposing then. Is that okay with you?
go ahead.
3. Portuguese MACPOW shall cease any pre-existing ties to MGTOW and the MGTOW community, like you claiming that you are MGTOW when you said fuck MGTOW. 4. Portuguese MACPOW shall officially declare independence of MACPOW from MGTOW and separate MACPOW from MGTOW. 5. Portuguese MACPOW shall cease any attacks on Igor MGTOW or other members of the MGTOW community. 6. Portuguese MACPOW shall remove any content listing Igor MGTOW or any other member of MGTOW as a traitor to the MGTOW community. And here's the provisions now that will apply to me and the MGTOW community. Igor MGTOW shall cease any attacks on the Portuguese MACPOW and the MACPOW community. 2. Igor MGTOW and the rest of the MGTOW community shall recognize the independence of the MACPOW community and let it do its thing. And here's the thing. The following provisions apply to both parties. The peace deal will last 5 years from when it's signed, and both parties will be allowed to extend the agreement forever if they wanted to. This was basically what I proposed. We would effectively let MACPOW be independent and do its thing. And that's what I was doing by not really talking about you. I was letting you do your own thing. So what do you
Igor,
think?
I really don't give a fuck about any of this. Look, if you want to squash the beef right here, we can leave third parties out of it. For me, that's fine. You don't have to take anything down. I will take my shit down, but I think we should work together.
I mean, I would see anything, but I am willing to give you a truce. I'm willing to give you a truce because I don't believe in the mudslinging. I believe that my mission has to continue. Like, I'm willing to give you a truce. I'm willing to recognize if the MACPOW community wants to declare independence, I will recognize it immediately on the spot. I'm willing to give you a truce and do all of that because I'm not interested in any more war and mudslinging within the manosphere. It's just not what we are all about.
I do have a condition, though.
What is the condition?
You have to take this up to all the other MGTOWs out there that you associate with. Just do me a big favor. Just listen to what I'm saying. You don't have to agree with it. Just listen to my points of views and stop policing me and policing other guys with their own ideas. Just let's evolve. as a sphere, as a manosphere.
Here's a oh wait, Cyber Tosin just proposed something. Rather than taking everything down, you could leave it all together and create a treaty together and post on each other's community pages. That would show everyone an example of conflict resolution. And actually, that's the thing. And I'm willing to accept your condition, Portuguese MACPOW, of informing the others about this, because I think even Hammerhand himself doesn't want any more of this. He said that we should avoid being dragged into petty disputes or whatever. So I'm willing
Yeah,
to.
I'm going after this. I'm going to suggest doing a stream also with Hammerhand. I can't do it on my channel because I have less than 100 subs, and it will be very low quality. Because I don't know how to make it professional and nice and stuff. But I will talk to all of you guys. Just listen to what I'm saying. You don't have to agree with it, but talk with me, for fuck's sake.
Yes, and that was what I was willing to do. And the only reason I didn't accept your original friend request then that you made after blocking me was that I was confused. When you sent the friend request, I was actually waiting for SE to say something because I was confused. And then after
No,
I
no, no,
rejected
no,
the
no,
friend
no, 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 dude. This
request,
is gay shit. This is pussy shit. When you have a problem with another man, you deal with them. You don't try to get a third party. That's faggot shit.
sorry, it's just that at the time I thought you were dishonest, and that's why I had third parties involved to prevent my name being dragged through the mud and prevent me from being exiled, because you did try to exile me. We kind of have to agree on that.
Look. I told you this before. This was all a huge plot to make niggas know more about the existence of MACPOW. And in a way, I used you. I never tried to exile you from shit. Dude, I have my own life.
The thing is, you did kind of cause damage. I had to prove to everyone else in MGTOW that I actually meant what I said. MGTOW Phoenix was doing things. Even Hammerhand would have done something against me and if he didn't seek immediate clarification. This could have ended really badly for me. But yes,
Hey, sometimes before, if you want to make an omelet, you got to break a few eggs. If you want a nice steak, you got to kill a fucking cow.
I see, but here's the thing. I'm okay with the truce, and I'm okay with having a stream with Hammerhand and everyone else informing of it, because I'd rather instead of fighting you, simply go and do the other stuff I really want to do, including the official census that I have proposed. Because we haven't counted how many MGTOWs are actually in MGTOW in basically years. Okay, there's SE sent an estimate from 2023 of what, like 15 million men, but an official count would be way better. I want to leave
Look, these members, they're not solid. They keep coming in and coming out and going out. It's just like again, like getting their dick sucked and going back to the to the field and stuff. It's not a solid number.
Makes sense. Then SE's estimate is right. But yes, I did want to do all of my MGTOW stuff because I don't really want to fight you. I don't see a point in doing that. I don't. Here's the thing I said in the comment section of Hammerhand stuff. We in the Manosphere don't believe in cancellation. We don't believe in that. Even if we disagree with each other, we are still in this together. We still believe in a common mission. We still should see each other as part of the same manosphere, even if we disagree each other with other stuff. We shouldn't try to cancel each other or bring Twitter cancellation to the manosphere. Cancellation of other people is a foreign value, not what we believe in.
Again, like let's squash the beef, but my condition is like whoever your associates are, make them aware of my existence and my will to do a stream with them and everyone, just to make sure that I'm here, because I have things to say that must be heard, that I go places where most of the guys don't have the balls to go into.
I mean, sure, I'm going to ask Hammerhand and SE and probably Undead Chronic if they're willing to do a stream with you.
Because but look, individual. Like I've done a stream here with you, to eloquent gentlemen talking with each other, because the more people, the worse. I'll do one with every like single like a channel at a time.
Oh, okay, and that's what I'll do. The thing is, I don't really have that many connections within the Manosphere, and I'm not really part of any of the Discord servers, but I do have SE, and so long as I have SE and Hammerhand's emails, I'll do everything I can to at least get Hammerhand and everyone else to forward your request, because I am willing to fulfill your conditions.
Good. Then I think maybe we should leave it at here. And I said everything that I wanted to say. Do you have anything else?
I don't really. We quashed the false claims. I did everything right. I proved my point, and my point was that I'm a MGTOW first MGTOW, not paid by Soros, not paid by any other foreign group. I'm doing what I would need to do. You just have disagreements with some of that. I think we said what we said.
All right, then. Thanks for being here. Thanks for coming in, for everything that you do, even though I think there's still a few missing pieces. And I think I can be that missing piece, the more chaotic part of it. And let's make this a good 4 years, because now that Trump is president, I think this is the men's comeback. We should take full advantage of this. Maybe the algorithm is even work in our favor. We should not miss this opportunity.
I mean, I agree, especially on Twitter. I don't like Elon for some of the things he's done on Twitter, but still, the algorithm there is much more favorable than it was before Elon Musk, and I think we are getting out of the dark age that was 2020 and 2021, because I still remember when censorship was very extreme. Like the only reason I even left YouTube originally and only focused on MGTOW.tv and everything else was because of me being striked for a video I did on COVID or vaccines or ivermectin or something that they didn't like.
All right. Well, before I go, now that you mentioned censorship, let's show these motherfuckers that we are not only against censorship. We are pro expansion, and let's help each other expand each other's reach. So, with that being said, I gotta go. Have things to do tomorrow. Thanks for the invitation.
Okay.
Take care.
Goodbye, Portuguese, and thanks for everyone for tuning in and for listening to this stream. This is the first stream we have done since 2020, and it was interesting. Instead of all the mudslinging and debates you would have probably seen, we actually had a respectful conversation, and that was the best thing that could have happened. Per the conditions Portuguese gave me, I will try to fulfill it, but I'm at least glad that we managed to clear everything up and that things are ended up in a way that's more favorable to the manosphere as a whole. We didn't need a civil war, and fortunately it is now over. With that being said, thanks to everyone for tuning in, and goodbye. Like and subscribe if you like the stream, and follow me on other platforms such as MGTOW.tv, Odyssey.com, and Twitter. And bye-bye. Thanks for watching this stream and tuning on. Goodbye.